Hello everyone, we will continue the topic macros as a part of modularization techniques. And in the previous videos, firstly we understood what macros is. After that, we simply studied the creation step. Then we took a simple example how we can create a macro for a right statement. Yes, then we studied how we can create a macro with placeholder. Whenever you want to pass the values at runtime, we always have to create macros with placeholder. And yes, in real-time projects, we always have to pass the values. So we will always create macros with placeholders. Now into this particular video, we will cover how we can use macros while calling the function modules. I will take a requirement. In that requirement, we will call the various function module and then we will simply replace using macros. So what we will do? We will take a requirement that we have four function modules, one for sum of two number, one for subtraction, one for multiplication, and one for division. Suppose we have four function modules. We will call those function modules inside a program, depends upon the click of the radio button. And then we will see how we can use macros whenever we will call the function modules. So what I will do, I will firstly create a function group. In that function group, I will create four function module for sum, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You all know how you can create a function group through SC80 transaction code. You can use the existing function group also, not an issue. Suppose from the drop down, I will go for function group. Suppose I will write ZFG. Suppose I will write underscore two underscore numbers. Suppose for the best understanding, I will just write macro. I'm creating a function group. I'll, I will not write macro. I'll just write ZFG operation two numbers. In the program, I will use the word macro. ERA. Sorry. I will click on to create button. I will just give the description, function, group. I will go for save. I will save this as a local object. Never forget to activate the function group. I'm just taking a simple example. You can take different function modules also. Now suppose I'm creating function module. Suppose I will write ZFM operation two numbers. I will just write here sum. I will go for create. Okay, it already existing. Suppose I will give Z sum operation. I will go for create. I will pass the function group. This is our function group. I will give the short text. I will go for save. I will take two input and one output. P input 1, P input 2. Suppose they are of integer type. I will take one output parameter. Now I will write the code. I will simply write P output is equal to P input 1 plus P input 2. I'll just go for activation. So my first FM is ready. I'll just make a copy. Now I will go for subword subtraction, same function group. I will copy. Okay, I'll just make a copy. This is our from, this is our to. Here I need to give sub. By mistake, I changed there. Same function group. Same to importing, one exporting. I'll just write minus here. I will activate the function module. Now I will go for third function. I'll copy. This is our multiplication. Suppose I will write MUL. I'll just activate this function module. And now I will make it as multiplication. Now suppose I will create fourth function module. Suppose I will copy. This is our division. I'll copy. Suppose I will write division. I will activate this function module. So our four function modules are ready. If I will check the function group, if I will refresh, you can see we have four function modules in this function group. Now I will simply call in the program. I will go to SC38 transaction code. Suppose ZBRG use macros in function module. Use macros in function module calling. I'll just go for create demo on use of macros for FM calling. Anyways, in the real projects, will not give this kind of description. This is just for the demo purpose I am giving. We'll always give the description to display the sales order details, to display the PO details, because end user will not understand this macros word or something is. Now I will take two parameters. Control D. I will take four radio buttons. Parameters P underscore R1, type C, radio button group R1, R2, R3, R4. You can duplicate a line through Control D. As of now, we are just replicating the scenarios. Macros part has not started yet. I will provide the selection text. Okay, sorry. I need to go for same radio button. When I did Control D, I forgot to change text elements, selection text. This is our first input. This is our second input. This is sum. This is subtract. This is multiply. And this is division. I will activate. So our input is ready. Now I will write the code. If first radio button is capital X, we will call the sum function module. If second radio button is capital X, we'll call the subtraction function module. If third radio button is capital X, we'll call multiplication function module. And in case of fourth, we will call the division function. Now, how to call the function module? I will go to pattern button, call function. I'll just go for sum first. I'll just change it to sum. Now, this is your first input. This is your second input. And this is our output. I will write LV underscore out. I will declare. Now, I will simply write. I will copy. In the second if condition, you can call through pattern again, no problem. But we all know we just simply need to change these words because our parameters are same to same. This is our subtraction. This is our multiplication. And this is our division. I will activate. I will check the output up to this level. Okay, I will declare LV underscore output. I'll just suppose I will go for 2010. Sum done. Subtraction done. Multiply done. Division done. Now we will go for macros. Now you can see every time we are calling the function module, we are writing, we are calling the function module, writing, we are calling and writing. Now we will simply go for macros. You all know what is the purpose of macro. You can simply write the repetitive statement in the macro. Yes, and you can simply call that macro rather than writing those statements again and again. Suppose if I will create a macro for this particular part, we will understand. Suppose I will go for define. You all know our real part of the practical related to macro now will start. Yes. So firstly, we need to define the macro, then we need to call the macro. Suppose my name of the macro is FM underscore polling. You can give any name, it's totally your wish. We need to use which keyword? End of definition. Now I will create a macro for this particular part. Now you can see into all these four parts, call function is there. So I will simply write call function. Now you can see this name is changing. So now we will simply use placeholder. Suppose I will go for %1. This %1 will be replaced by this, and this all four function modules. Now we will go for next. Now we have exporting keyword. This is fixed exporting keyword P input 1. Now you can see this input is changing. Yes. So I will simply go for placeholder. So I will write this as %2. P input 2 is equal to, this will be your %3. Now we will go for importing. This is our importing. You can copy paste and then change also. This is importing. And we have P output is equal to ampersand 4. Now we are writing same to same. So I will simply go for write ampersand 4. I will put dot and now I will go for write ampersand 4. Just see what are the various things you want to pass at runtime. You can simply create a placeholder. This one function module name will pass at runtime. Yes, will pass whenever we'll call that particular macro. This value we will pass, this value we will pass, and we will get the result. So I simply passed 4 placeholder. Now I will simply replace. Now, if you want to replace, how you will replace? You need to call the macro. How you will call the macro? What is the name of the macro? fm underscore calling. fm underscore calling. Now, what is the value of the first placeholder? This is the value of the first placeholder. Yes. Now, what is the value of second placeholder? P underscore input 1. What is the value of second placeholder? P underscore input 2. What is the value of fourth placeholder? P underscore LV underscore output. So this is our first placeholder, second, third, fourth. Now this is not required. Now I will simply copy. At least by learning this topic, if you will see macros code, at least you can predict what are the various things they are using. At least you can understand all these concepts. Now I will simply go for sub. Now I will comment. Now we will go for third. So this is our multiplication. I will comment this. You can see these 4 repetitive codes we simply have written into the macro. And we are just calling that macro. And this is our fourth. Now this is your DB set. I will check the syntax. Syntactically correct. Now I will activate. Now I will put the breakpoint. I will put the breakpoint here because I already told we cannot debug a macro whenever we'll proceed further, whenever we'll cover the limitation. At that time, we'll go into too much detail. So as of now, I'll put the breakpoint here into these 4 if statements. And we will understand how it will work. This is macro with placeholder. We are going for 4. You can see ampersand 1 to ampersand 4 here. Suppose I am going for 20 and 10. I'll go for sub. I am executing. I'll go for desktop 3. Yes. Now you can see we are calling this macro. Whenever this macro will call function, it will replace. It means this is the function module. This is our first value. This is our second value. And this will be the result. Yes. It will simply return the result. And we are writing. Done. Now we will simply go for second. So it will replace the 4 values. Now we are calling this function module. This will be our 2 inputs and it will return the output. Yes. And you can do not confuse between placeholder and placeholder value. These 4 are placeholder. These are the values of the placeholder. First placeholder value, second placeholder value, third placeholder value, fourth placeholder value. Done. Now if I will go for multiply, now we are passing the multiply function module. This multiply function module will simply replace here. Yes, because these are placeholders. We are passing placeholder values. We are writing and this is the result. Now, if I will go for division, now we are passing the division function module. This is our division function module, and these four are placeholder values. It will be replaced. And this is our output. So what is the summary of this particular video? In this video, we studied how we can use macros while calling the function module. If you are calling so many function modules and they have same number of parameters, at that time, this is one of the best approach you can use. Yes, because in that case, you can simply write your repetitive lines of code into that particular macro, and you can simply call that macro. So we simply created four function modules first. We have written the logic for sum, subtraction, multiplication, division. After that, we call these function modules inside the program, depends upon the radio button selection. And then after that, we simply created firstly, we defined the macro and then we called that particular macro. In the next video, we will further see the use of macros at other places. So that's it in this video. Thank you.